Hey there YouTube, it's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to do a video response to one of the most controversial videos I have watched all year on YouTube. This is a video called Why It's Okay to Be Fat, and the lady doing the talk, her name is Golda Poretsky, and I'm going to link the video here and down in the description. As much as I hate to give this video more views, I feel like you need to watch it to understand what I'm talking about. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and have a look. And if you have seen it, now I'm going to tell you what I think about it. And any of you who normally watch my channel already know what I think about it. First and foremost, I must ask you, Golda, do you even lift? Everybody wants to know. I don't think you do. But getting a little bit serious here, I'm going to address some of the claims she made and tell you why I think they are mostly bullshit. So let's start from the beginning. She starts to talk about how, her first experience being called fat, she was 4 years old and she went home and told her mom, and her mom, instead of doing what a rational parent would do, decided that her 4-year-old should go on a diet. Okay, this is insane. 4-year-olds should not diet. You have developed an unhealthy relationship with food from the get-go. This is part of the problem. And she goes on to talk about how, throughout her life she tried so many different diets and just could do nothing to lose weight. Talks about diet, like she's taken shakes, she's taken pills, she's tried this, that, and the other diet. Well, this is really why you failed. If you think shakes are going to help you lose weight and keep weight off, you're wrong. If you think pills are going to help you, you're wrong. Everybody in America wants to find the culprit. What is the culprit? I can eliminate the culprit and then I can go about eating whatever the hell I want. Low carb dieting, for example. Well, if we eliminate carbs, I can eat whatever the hell I want and I'm going to lose weight. Or shake diet. Well, all I have to do is eliminate 2 of my 3 meals and replace them with a shake. This is all nonsense. There's no science to this, none whatsoever. Quit trying to find the culprit. The culprit is and always will be calories. It's this simple. You have overcomplicated weight loss. You shouldn't need to try 15 different diets. There is one diet that works for every human being on planet Earth, and it is the caloric deficit. If you eat less food than you take in, you will lose weight. There's no arguing that. That is thermodynamics. It's the law that governs the entire universe. Your body is not exempt. Period. If you track your calories and you're honest about your tracking and you eat less than you burn, you will lose weight. So there's your major problem. You've tried all these different diets, but caloric deficit, it's not even really a diet, it's just a principle. Stick to it and it works. It just does. She starts to talk about how despite being fat, she achieved things in every other aspect in life, went to law school, had boyfriends. Who gives a shit? That has nothing to do with anything. No one, I think, is trying to make the point that fat people can't achieve things. That would be asinine. Why she even brought this up, I don't understand. It's got literally nothing to do with anything. Then she brings up a little term she coined called scale-dependent self-esteem, meaning your self-esteem was based on whether or not you were gaining or losing weight. Well, again, this is an improper relationship with food. That is not healthy. This will happen to anybody who diets. When you first start a diet, you will lose a lot of weight. Because you are eating less food, your body retains less water. There are a lot of things that happen, and in the first 2 weeks of dieting, you might see 5, 10, 15, 20 pounds worth of weight loss. It's not real. It's mostly water and glycogen. It's not fat loss. And then as time goes on, the scale really, really slows down, and it gets to a point where it almost doesn't even budge. This is why the scale is one of the worst tools for dieting. And this is why a lot of people fail at their diets. They pay too much attention to the scale. Look, when you're obese, when you have 50 or more pounds to lose, forget the scale. Eat a reasonable number of calories that you know puts you into a deficit and step on the scale 3 months from now. Quit looking at your weight from day to day. I've talked about this so many times in the past about why day-to-day weigh-ins is just ridiculous. Don't do it. Quit focusing on the scale. This I find a little bit ironic. She talks about one of the main reasons weight loss is so... people value weight loss in our society and look at it as such a good thing is because it's a product-driven industry. There's a lot of money behind it, so there's a lot of propaganda associated with it. Which I won't argue that. There are lots of diet plans and diet pills, and I think she throws out a statistic of how many millions of dollars are spent on dieting. And while that's all true, this is the ultimate hypocrisy. Go to her website and she's going to sell you books and be your life coach and make money off of, this is kind of ridiculous. Not make money off of teaching you how to diet, but make money teaching you how not to. I can teach you how not to diet. That's really easy. Just don't. But so this was flat out absurd to me. Now I'm going to get into the part that really pissed me off. Because it's one thing if you want to say that, I'm fat, people treat me bad. You shouldn't treat anybody bad for any reason. I don't think you should shame people because they're fat. I'm not really into that. So that's whatever. But then she starts getting into the science of things. And this is where I started to get really, really angry. She talks about how 95% of people fail at their diets and they don't keep weight off. Again, this goes back to the fact that most of these people never really lost real weight to begin with. They got on their Atkins diet or their low carb or whatever. They lost 20 to 30 pounds, most of it being water weight, felt good about a scale number changing, got off said diet, gained all the water weight back on, and ended up doing the yo-yo. But it's not real. 3 months is not enough time to make a lasting change in your life. This is the problem with dieting in general. I'm not an advocate of diet. I'm an advocate of lifestyle changing. You have to do something you can do for the rest of your life. Low carb dieting you can't do lifelong. Shakes, you can't drink shakes your entire life. If you want a diet you can do for the rest of your life, check out my video on flexible dieting. It's just based around calorie counting. It is sustainable for the duration of your life. It includes no banned foods. There's no list of foods you can't eat. You can eat any food you want on this kind of a diet. And that's why a lot of you fail at keeping your weight off, because you restrict, lose weight, go off your diet so all the restrictions are gone, and then overeat, and you get bigger again. So this is a big reason why you fail. Seriously, check out flexible dieting. Changed my life and it can change yours too. But so she continues on how it's normal to fail at dieting and most people will never keep off weight they've lost. I've lost over 115 pounds. I've kept it off for about 2 years now, and I don't see myself in the next 3 years gaining all of it back. I don't see that ever happening. So in her video, she refers to me as a statistical outlier, and on her website, people like me are simply statistical freaks, and you shouldn't look at someone like me as a role model, because you couldn't possibly achieve what I have. Here, you really offended me at this point. I'm a better role model than you. I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say I'm a better person than you, because no person is better than any other person inherently, but Golda, I'm a better role model than you. People should not look up to you. They should look up to what I've done. All you're doing is out there saying, I tried, I failed, and I'm going to teach you to be okay with it. What I'm trying to do is say, look at me, I did it, I'm not special. I'm not. There is nothing inherently special about me that let me do what I did. You can all do it. It takes some hard work and some desire and most importantly some patience. But there's no reason every single one of you watching today can't do what I've done. So this is where you've really lost me, calling me the statistical outlier and saying people shouldn't look up to me. Well, I just think you're wrong there. Now this part of her talk was just bizarre when she starts listing the reasons why fat can actually be healthy and weight loss can actually be harmful. And she goes way more into this in her website. This is the result of cherry-picking studies and basically distorting some facts. Nothing she said wasn't research-backed, so I will give her the slightest bit of credit there. But that being said, you can cherry-pick studies to try and prove your point. So I'm going to briefly talk about some of the things she mentioned in the video. Type 2 diabetics who are obese tend to live longer than type 2 diabetics who are not obese. There is a lot of conjecture to why this is. They call it the obesity paradox. One of the main reasons doctors think this happens is because physicians as a community tend to not treat normal weight diabetics as aggressively as they treat obese diabetics. Obese diabetics, they're quicker to put on insulin versus pills to control their diabetes, and so on and so forth. And the thought is that if they would just treat the normal weight diabetics as aggressively as they're treating the obese diabetics, you might not see these obesity paradox numbers showing up. She also talks about obese people surviving better after strokes. This is another thing. Okay, so you might have a longer survival rate if you have diabetes and if you have a stroke. Well, I'll tell you a group that has a better survival rate than obese people with diabetics and strokes. People who don't become diabetic or have strokes. So if you aren't obese in the first place, you don't have to worry about the obesity paradox. Okay, congratulations, you might live a year longer than a regular weight person with diabetes, but someone like me who stays at a healthy weight is very much not likely to develop diabetes in the first place. So the obesity paradox is kind of, while it is true, it's really bullshit, especially the way you're working it. Then you say you have a better chance to survive a post-surgical intensive care unit, or you have a better chance to thrive afterwards if you're obese than if you're normal weight. Well, I work in a post-surgical intensive care unit, and let me tell you what, if you're not obese, you have a better chance of not ending up in this unit in the first place. There's not a doctor I work with that would say I would rather my patient be obese. Damn to the studies. You're not going to find one of them to say that. I'm sorry. This might be the biggest line of bullshit that you spewed out, and that's saying a lot because there's a lot of bullshit in what you said. So, another problem that she states about life expectancy being better for obese people in certain populations. Life expectancy is simply quantity of life, the length of time you are alive. It has nothing to do with your quality of life. So you tell me if that doesn't make a huge difference. Okay, so you might live just as long as me, you being obese, me being what would be considered normal weight. But our quality of life is going to be very different. When you get older, if you're morbidly obese, okay, maybe you spend the last 5 years of your life bedbound or wheelchair bound, while I'm still able to go out and walk around. Yeah, we might both die at the same time, and our quantity of life was the same, but you can't argue that our quality of life was the same. Look, I've been both ends of the spectrum. I've gone from morbidly obese to a low body fat, lean individual, and I can tell you, even at a young age, the quality of life differences for me are huge. I feel so much better at a proper weight. I can go about doing just daily activities and just feel better. Quality of life has to be considered. It has to. Finally, she gives her plan on what you should do. I wouldn't call it a diet plan or a weight loss plan. It's basically her ideals on how you should live your life. And it involves body acceptance. Body acceptance. I don't even like the term. Should you have high self-esteem? Should you love yourself? Absolutely. I don't care if you're fat, skinny, whatever. You should have respect for yourself. I said this earlier in the video, no one person is better than any other person for any reason. We all have unique value as human beings. That being said, should you accept your body if your body is out of proportion? I don't think so. I do not think that is a good thing. I think you should work hard to put your body into proportion. And for the people out there that say it can't be done, you're wrong. I'm living proof that you're wrong. I'm not a statistical outlier. Another link I'm going to post down here from bodybuilding.com. It's the Fat to Fit picture collection. You'll see thousands of statistical outliers, and there's no reason you can't be on that list too. Body acceptance is a load of bullshit. It's an excuse. You can accept your body, or you can decide to work hard and change your body. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be your best self. I'm not saying everybody needs to be, six-pack lean and sub 10% body fat, but there's no reason you can't be better than you are with some hard work. So that's kind of my thoughts on her talk. This video could be 2 hours long with me telling you how much I thought about what she said was wrong. But those were the major points I wanted to hit. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. If this is the first time you've seen the channel, look through some of my other videos. I've got plenty of advice on how you can make a change for the better. Again, body acceptance. No, we don't need to accept things that we're unhappy about. We don't need to trick ourselves into thinking that being fat is okay. It really is not healthy. At the end of the day, I don't care about your obesity paradox. You're not going to find a doctor in the world that's going to tell you being fat is better than being an appropriate weight. So if you really want to make a change, and also you want to come to someone who's not trying to get any of your money, because at Feeding Fitness we don't sell anything, there's no book, it's all free and it's all online. So please subscribe to the channel, take a look at some of my other videos. Questions, comments, post them below or over at our Facebook page, facebook.com/feedingfitness. I'll see you guys next time.